Welcome to short introductions of the capabilities of Keto platform. Let's get started. The best way that I could describe Keto AI Plus platform is that it is a no-code platform that enables you to very rapidly design different kind of portfolio lifecycle models. Keto is very process agnostic tool, so it's not promoting that you run your business in a specific framework or model. It's more adapting to your governance models and the way that you're prioritizing your strategical initiative inside of your organization. This demo is an example organization, and it is running multiple portfolios with Keto. Starting from the strategy portfolio that contains the strategical themes, objectives, initiatives, and tracks the KPIs accordingly. The implementation could also include idea or opportunity portfolio, tracking different kind of demands coming to your organization and funneling them to the more executive level portfolios like asset investment portfolio that is more managing on CapEx expenses of the organization, to R&D portfolios that are seeking new technologies and opportunities for the organization, or running digital transformation programs that are linked to the different kind of application landscapes inside of the organization. As Keto is able to model multiple portfolio life cycles, it's also capable of linking them together with dependencies or strategical alignment. In the front page of Keto, the first diagram is showcasing the execution gap by measuring how much of your executional portfolio initiatives are linked to the actual strategical objectives of the organization, and thus by showcasing how much of potential you have on generating a better strategical alignment and achieving these objectives. Keto can also provide very powerful methodologies on tracking the finances of your portfolio. In this case, this Sankey diagram is showcasing how much of the capital the organization is directing to a specific strategical challenges or how much of this money is expended by the different business units and different portfolios. Also, the KPI tracking can be summarized in the main page, showcase the baseline and the target of the KPIs, and also can show trends and AI forecast of these KPIs in the future. Also, financial summaries can be provided to highlighting the financial implications of the execution of the strategy. Also, risk management can be highlighted in the front page. Next, we will have a little bit of a closer look to an example strategy portfolio. In a strategy portfolio hierarchy view, you can see 4 individual main strategic objectives of the organization, their business ownership, and you can track the status by key result or work done inside of the strategic objectives. Also, individual objectives have their own OPEX and CapEx budget, and you can track them on a timeline. If I open up one of these hierarchy views, it will show you different strategic initiatives that are linked underneath the objectives. They have their own owners and own tracking to see the status of them. This is a basic visualization of a 2-level strategy portfolio, but there can be multiple levels, so we are not limited into 2 different kind of level on cascading the individual strategic objectives down the organization. Also, we have a lot of business case and dashboard views that enables us to see the EBITDA and the cash flow implications of these strategic initiatives. We can track the KPIs on a portfolio level where we can see the baseline, the target, and the trend, and also have an AI estimate how the individual KPIs will be tracking forward. Also, we can have risk management to track if there are any catastrophic risks, and the key results, how much of them are completed, can be tracked in a pie chart format. Also, Keto provides you an AI analysis on a portfolio level that gives you insights with the language model on how your individual initiatives or objectives are proceeding, and this report can also combine more traditional dashboard graphics, or some of the dashboards can be also be generated with an AI model. Next, let's have a little bit of a closer look of an individual strategic initiative inside of Keto platform. First, you can see the details of the strategic initiative. Bear in mind, this is only an example, as a Keto is a no-code platform. The Keto builders can use the user interface by clicking to the process settings from the top right corner and edit the metadata model of the strategic initiative by adding or removing fields or editing the behavior of the individual fields. This is an easy way to digitalize different kind of portfolios and Excel sheets that the organization used to use previously and input all the data inside of the Keto. Also bear in mind that Keto has good capabilities of exporting these data back to a PowerPoint or Excel format for reporting purposes if needed, and this data can be used on the dashboard analysis that I showed you in the previous phase. Many times we build different kind of tables underneath the initiative. In this case, we have key results table that can be customized, but in this example, we have two different key results and their status and the timetable tracked underneath the strategic initiative. Also, the initiative can have its own table for revenue and OPEX and CAPEX and cost saving tracking, and nice visualization on summarizing the financial implications of these initiatives. Also, we can track the KPIs inside of the Keto. In this case, we have three different KPIs. We have set up the baseline, the target, and tracking the actuals, and also have an AI estimate on how the KPI should be developing during time. Also, reporting the status of the strategic initiatives is very easy, and also the very important note is that this individual strategic initiative can be linked to different projects inside of the other portfolios that were implemented with Keto platform. In this case, we have identified that we have three different asset investment projects going on and three different digital transformation projects going on that are contributed into this individual strategic initiative. Also, risk mapping can be provided to give you an understanding of different kind of risks that may be hindering the progress of this individual strategic initiative. Next, we will have a little bit of a closer look on how the Keto project lifecycle models are built. If I open up one of the R&D portfolio lifecycle, it displays very simply what is a lifecycle. It's a set of steps that need to be completed in order to execute the R&D project in this case. You can have 3 phases or 8 phases. You can name the phases the way that you want to have. In this case, we have 6-phase lifecycle model, and individual project types may be skipping the individual steps in the lifecycle model in order to make the lifecycle model more simplified for more lighter versions of the project. Also, the portfolio shows a set of columns that display the status and the progress of the individual project by symbols. Also, you can have the timeline view that displays when the individual projects are being executed. These columns can be used as a filtering criteria, so you can get the project of, for example, individual business units or so forward. Also, you can hide some of the columns or select the display order and save these filtering settings and distribute them inside of your organizations in order to create kind of sub-portfolio views that can be useful for different stakeholder groups inside of your organization. Now, if I open up one of the project life cycles, it shows the same lifecycle model steps in the left menu. And currently it's open up the project details in the current active phase of the project. Same thing goes here that if I go to the right top corner, I can very easily click myself into the edit mode where I can customize these views, change the order, change the behavior of the individual columns if I have the Keto builder rights inside of Keto. This again helps you to customize the metadata model that can be used inside of the portfolio view according to your organization's terminology and the methodology that you wish to use inside of the Keto. But the idea with the lifecycle is that in the first phase, you will build a model that collects only the necessary information that need to be displayed. In this case, the old phases that have been completed, if you open them up, they're locked. This means that these phases are actually displaying historical values of the project details that were inputted when the project was completing the idea and capture decision. The idea, of course, is that you collect only the minimal information about the business case and details and the risks in order to do the first decision in order to move the project further inside of the lifecycle model. And when you get to these yellow phases, the data comes editable as you're editing the current data of the project. And when you're moving forward, bear in mind that you will get more and more things that need to be filled out. For example, the task timeline needs to be more detailed. You need to have better risk analysis inside of it. You start to track the KPIs. You will also track the actual costs that build up these beautiful diagrams that help to visualize the progress of the project to the top management. Also, status reporting can be a part of the lifecycle model when you get far enough inside of the lifecycle model. And same thing goes that we can export these views into a PowerPoint and Excel formats for reporting on a portfolio level or inside of the individual project. Also, Keto can control the access to these functionalities even on a field level to specific roles in order to run the process through safely and avoid data leaks and govern the process according to a specification. Typically, the last tab inside of the lifecycle phase is the decision path tab that has a lot of check-ins and mandatory check-ins that governs that all the necessary information has been inputted in order to move to the next phase inside of the lifecycle model. Prioritization of your portfolio is maybe one of the most important steps in strategic portfolio management. This requires that you have established your portfolio, you know the initiatives, you know how much financial and human resources are needed to complete them, and you know the risks and the expected benefits of the individual initiatives. After that, you can move to the prioritization view inside of Keto that enables you to use multiple criteria in order to prioritize your portfolio. In this case, I have selected that the ROI percentage need to be higher than 70%. I have total capex limit of 6 million and the revenue limit for individual initiatives is 1 million. After I have established this criteria, I can execute the prioritization and Keto automatically includes individual initiatives into this prioritization. And also it highlights that I have already committed previously into one initiative, and this is automatically included into the prioritization. These star symbols automatically show you that there are initiatives that are close to making these prioritization limits, but not still making it. But I can use the manual prioritization functionality to drag and drop these initiatives into the order that I want them to be. So this will establish me priority 1, priority 2, 3, 4, and forward prioritization for the initiatives. And this can be done in multiple organizational level. Because now when I have established the priority, I can save this priority, for example, as a business unit level priority number into the portfolio. And these business unit prioritization numbers can be later on used in a group level prioritization to help to make the correct prioritization for the group level. After the prioritization has been completed, I can move to the optimization view that is now showing the individual initiatives that I have selected to be in the prioritization and also enables me to change the timetable of the individual initiatives, and this resource pool view is automatically updated and highlighting the possible resource bottlenecks that will be hindering the execution of these initiatives. Also, this prioritization and the time shift can be implied into other dashboard graphics. In this case, I have the business case graphic that is now displaying the cash flow expectations of the portfolio, and these changes are affecting it. So you can see how the resources will handle it and how my budget will be changing as I change the timetable. As I'm doing this optimization, I'm not actually changing the projects. I can just make a simulation and save these simulations for the future use and distribute them inside of my organization to stir discussion about the benefits of changing the prioritization on the timetable of these initiatives. Thank you for watching. That was end of the prioritization and hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.